Hey man, what's up? Didn't expect to see this late of a stream.
Hey, bro. I didn't expect to see this late of a stream either. But I happen to be very spontaneous, and I haven't played Avengers in quite a bit. So I figured I'd revisit the landscape. How you doing, Zell?
I'm doing great, you?
Not bad, man. Let me just set this up. I'm a little tired tonight, but this is an easy game to play when you're tired. Especially when your character's at full strength. Thanks for tuning in, Zell. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's pretty late tonight, almost midnight for me.
Oh, it's almost one for me. Let's see
No problem man, glad to be heat.
here. All right, let's see.
I cannot believe the Black Panther is traveling the world again.
It has only been 5 years. Hulk.
See what's up with the quick match. See who's available for a quick match. Have you seen me play this before, Zell? I haven't played this while you were watching.
I think once or twice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm kind of too good at this game. So, because I'm too good at it, I get bored. DC is a challenge. This game isn't. But I'm a Marvel fan, so I'll always come back and, put in a couple of runs. But they lost potential with this game. Oh boy, did they lose potential.
Yeah, I'm partial to Marvel as well.
Yeah. I've always told people that Marvel, in the end, is in its creation was more science based than DC. DC is more God based. And then the two worlds met somewhere in the middle, but as time went on, Marvel developed stronger and stronger, more powerful characters like Dark Phoenix and Black Bolt and Sentry and Gladiator, but in its infancy, DC was a heck of a lot stronger as a universe than Marvel, because Marvel wasn't built like that. It wasn't intended to. You know, Shazam gets his powers from gods. Black Adam, Flash, I mean, he can manipulate time. Superman's an alien from another planet. Wonder Woman's practically a goddess. It's just that whole world is based on so many godlike characters. It's hard to compete. There's only a few characters from Marvel that really would give anybody in DC a run, like Hulk and Thor. That's about it.
There's one iteration of Flash that's faster than light. It's very godly in comparison to Marvel.
That's what I mean. Like, you can't say who would win in a fight when a guy can go faster than light. I mean, he'll be done with the fight before you even get to blink. You know? Now, I really like Marvel's iteration of Quicksilver in the movie with X-Men, where he runs into the mansion and saves all the kids. That has to be hands down my favorite Marvel scene ever.
I don't think I've seen that movie yet, but I do really like Quicksilver's concept.
Well, I'll be honest with you. Usually the comic book version of a character is stronger than the movie version. Like Wolverine or Hulk. But in Quicksilver's case, I think his movie version far exceeds his comic book version. And the way they visualize that rescue, where he runs into the X-Men mansion and saves everybody during an explosion, not even before an explosion, during an explosion. That is one of my favorite movie scenes to watch. It's amazing.
You'll have to check it out.
What bothers me is how mainstream media gets caught up in a version of a hero that's all wrong. Like Wolverine. Wolverine is like 5 feet tall in the comic books. Hugh Jackman is 6 feet tall. Hugh Jackman is actually too big for the part of Wolverine, but that's what they gave us. Wolverine is supposed to be like an adamantium hockey puck. You can smack him around and nothing's going to happen. They just keep coming back for more. Oh, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman has been cemented as Wolverine. There's really no changing it now as much as has different from the comic version.
Right. And that's why I say it kills me when somebody gets caught up in the wrong version. Tony Stark, Iron Man. Now, let me tell you, as an actor, Robert Downey Jr. was the perfect man to play Iron Man because his real life struggles pretty much mirrored the real life struggles of Iron Man in the comic book. Because Iron Man was the first comic book character with a substance abuse issue. Iron Man was an alcoholic. A lot of people don't know that. So, Robert Downey Jr. had a really big career in the 80s.
He has an alcoholism issue, right?
Yeah, he had a big problem. He had a big career in the 80s, and then during the 90s, he really stumbled because of all of his issues. So when he came back in Iron Man, it was like overcoming an addiction to regain his success, just like Iron Man in the comic books. But the Iron Man they gave us in the comic book, in the movies, is not the Iron Man from the comic books. The Iron Man in the movies is a combination of 3 characters: Henry Pym, Tony Stark, and Reed Richards. Because at the time of them creating the movie Iron Man, they didn't know they were going to eventually get their rights back to all the Marvel characters. So they were trying to work with what they had and still give the fans little Easter eggs of the rest of the Marvel universe through Tony Stark. So through Tony Stark, you got Easter eggs of Ant-Man because Tony Stark created Ultron. But in the comic books, Ant-Man created Ultron and Vision, not Tony Stark. They also made Tony Stark one of the smartest men in the Marvel universe on screen. But that was an Easter egg for Reed Richards, who's the smartest man in the Marvel universe. But again, this is because they didn't know they were going to get the rights back to the rest of their Marvel characters. So I understand why they did what they did. But ultimately, the ultimate...
He was a combination of characters.
Yeah. And also, in the comic books, Spider-Man was never a fanboy of Iron Man. In fact, when I was growing up in the 80s and collecting comic books, when Marvel was still close to its infancy, Spider-Man went through a period where he had always been working alone. And he decided that maybe he should join a supergroup. So he went to the X-Men mansion. He went to the Fantastic Four Baxter building. And he also went to the Avengers mansion.
What in my name was that?
And
That was Claw.
at all three
As much
locations,
as a sonic monstrosity
he was
can be
attacked
alive.
by
Yes.
the teams.
He suddenly appeared.
Like he was attacked by the X-Men.
He has disabled half the technology
He
inside.
was attacked by the Avengers.
Actively dangerous at
And he
worst.
was attacked by the
Are
Fantastic
Avengers
Four.
up to that
And
challenge?
do you know in all three battles,
Absolutely.
Spider-Man came out on top? Single-handedly. People don't know that about Spider-Man. And after those experiences, he decided, you know what, I'm better off just working alone. But every super team he came across, he bested them. The only person who had an upper hand on him was the Invisible Woman. She was able to trap him in a bubble.
Stronger really is true.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, the movie version of Spider-Man is slow. Slow. You gotta understand. The comic book version of Spider-Man can put a blindfold on and dodge machine gun fire with a blindfold on, without breaking a sweat. That's how ill his spider sense is. They downplay his spider sense in the movies so much. It's horrible. But technically, Spider-Man, if he doesn't want to get touched, he doesn't get touched. Usually the reason why he gets hurt is he's risking life and limb to save an innocent bystander. Or trying to draw the enemy away from a congested area. But Peter Parker, Spider-Man, he's so underrated in the movies. And he was never a fanboy of Tony Stark. As a Spider-Man fan, that's, I think, the biggest aspect of the movies that I hate is him being a fanboy of Tony Stark. Like, Spider-Man, intelligence-wise, is on the same level as Tony Stark. That's another thing people don't understand. He invented his webbing. he figured out how to put together chemicals and substances that created his webbing. And the webbing is virtually unbreakable for an hour. And then it dissolves. Like, he created some mind-blowing material. The webbing was never part of his powers. It was part of his intelligence.
I always thought movie Spider-Man was really underpowered. This makes more sense.
Oh, yeah. The only thing the movies did a really good job of, especially in Civil War, was kind of demonstrating his strength. They did a good job when they showed him catching a car before it hit a bus. And they did a good job of when Captain America threw his shield at Bucky and Bucky just caught it. You know, Bucky is really strong because Captain America is really strong throwing an adamantium shield. But nonetheless, when Bucky threw a punch at Spider-Man, Spider-Man just caught his fist and started talking about it like it was no big deal. Like, oh, wow, you have a metal arm? Oh, that's cool. And to be honest with you, that's how it would be in the comic books. He would throw a punch and Spider-Man would just catch it and start talking like it was no big deal. Because he's that strong and that fast. And because he's so tiny and wiry, he catches everybody off guard. Because nobody expects the power Spider-Man can dish out. Looks are deceiving. Okay, well, this mission isn't going anywhere, so I'm going to queue up for a...
I really do like his aloofness in the movies. It adds a lot of character to him.
Well, the aloofness is very much Spider-Man. But the movies get it a little bit wrong. He's only aloof as Spider-Man. That's not his character in person with people as Peter Parker. As Peter Parker, he's actually rather awkward, quiet, and timid. And his confidence isn't very high when it comes to girls. Mary Jane Watson was the girl next door who always liked Peter Parker, and he would never give her the time of day because he was too busy taking pictures for the Daily Bugle or running around the city as Spider-Man. In the comic books, Mary Jane chased down Peter Parker. And it was only because she lived next door and went to school with him. And in the comic book, she was the type of girl that dated a lot of guys. It was just Peter Parker was the one she couldn't get. That's what also intrigued Mary Jane about Peter Parker. It wasn't that he was hard to get, he was hard to keep up with. And so yeah, Peter Parker in person was a very timid, quiet, and not very confident individual. He gained confidence when he put that mask on.
Yeah, I noticed that in the Spider-Man games he was always pretty awkward.
Very awkward. You know, and putting on that mask transformed him to a certain extent. Because back then, putting on that mask represented so many different things to him. You know, the first time he put on the mask, he just did it for money. To hop in a wrestling ring and capitalize off of his powers. And he got smug because he realized with his powers he could easily make money like that as long as he wanted to, because he was way more powerful than any wrestler in the ring. But that smugness led to him not doing the right thing when he could have, which led to the death of his Uncle Ben. He could have stopped the robbery and he didn't, simply because the people at the wrestling match didn't want to pay him what he was worth. So when the people at the wrestling match were getting robbed, he let him. And then later the robber killed his uncle. And so that mask represents him forever wearing a reminder of the mistake he made on not taking responsibility with great power. Like his uncle said, with great power comes great responsibility. He didn't use that at that time. And so now, I really do think he's a different person when he puts that mask on because of that experience. Now, I do admit, though, I didn't read DC enough to understand the real life problems of their characters. But I still don't understand how they could have real life problems. Like Batman. Why are you constantly letting Joker one-up you? And Superman, why are you always letting Lex Luthor one-up you? You're allergic to kryptonite and Lex Luthor has kryptonite.
I would think if they're basically gods, they wouldn't have mortal problems.
Well, they also don't know how to organize properly, because if they had any sense, Batman would just go after Lex Luthor for Superman, and Superman would just go after the Joker for Batman. Problem solved. Billionaire versus billionaire, and alien god versus maniac clown. Problem solved. But no, they don't do that. Batman just keeps messing around with Joker, and Lex Luthor just keeps pulling out kryptonite on Superman. And the world goes round and round and round, and the world goes round and round.
In DC, they threw logic out of the window.
I sent a resistance team to sabotage a key
Well,
hyper circuit station.
that's the
They're
thing.
transporting
I don't really think
DNA
they were
samples like the
aiming
ones we
for
captured
logic.
recently.
But something went wrong.
Big time. The team went dark before
They were
completing their
aiming
mission.
for
I
gods.
desperately need that station gone and my people found. Please.
Like, they weren't aiming for enhanced men. They were aiming for super men. Marvel has a bunch of enhanced people. DC has a bunch of gods. And really, there's only a few people in Marvel you can even compare them to, like Thor or Submariner or Hulk. It's not a lot, man.
Destroying that station hits AIM where they live. If they lose that much inhuman DNA, throws a major wrench into Monica's precious experiments. My team's leader, Theo, is an inhuman teleporter. He's smart, but impulsive. I'm worried he'd led his people into a trap.
That's not the case, Doctor. Marking the hypercircuit station's location on your HUD, it appears to be actively blocking local ultra-high frequency radio transmissions, which might explain the lack of comms.
The Resistance doesn't use fancy Avenger radio tech. That's all the more reason to take the station out.
An AIM equipment store might be worth investigating.
Is Peter getting bit by the spider accurate in the comics, or is it just movie adapted?
No, the accuracy of being bit by the spider in the matches. That's been a constant in the
hopefully the Resistance team simply got a little lost.
the Spider-Man origin story. Him getting bit by a spider. And it's usually always the same way, like he's at some sort of science exhibit. And then
DNA, the Avengers helped us secure
a spider gets loose by some random chance and bites him.
That would indeed slow down Dr. Rappaccini's experiment.
There it is. A vital link in AIM's transport chain.
But like in the movies they kind of make it seem like he carried it home with him.
Yo, I played this. I was horrible at it.
There's no sign of Theo.
Hey Sega, what's going on?
That should also free up the airwaves, so we're killing two birds with one stone.
Marking the
oh yeah, I'm good at this.
Destroy on your HUD.
Much playing DC Online. This game wasn't my taste.
I just got off of DC. I'm exhausted, and DC takes too much brain power. This is really just a hack and slash game. Not much brain power to this one.
Aren't invulnerable.
I see you would do better than me at this.
Huh. I have a lot of build videos on Avengers early on in the life of my channel.
The hyper-circuit station is out of commission.
I repeat, we are under heavy fire from AIM forces. Requesting assistance. We read you, Theo. Sending assistance now. Hold on. Oh, thank God. Understood. We'll do our best.
Our theory was correct. The station was blocking the team's transmissions. I have their coordinates.
Theo, what the hell happened? We discovered AIM's holding Inhumans in the research facility nearby and decided to break them out before they're moved. Trouble is, a large AIM patrol spotted us, and now we're the ones who need rescuing.
Hey. Come here. That's it. Whoops! Heads up! Right. And exit stage left.
Doc, you sent the Avengers to save us? Nothing but the best. Theo, is your team able to fight?
Strike, disappear.
I have had my fill.
Watch out!
I don't like to play these single-player modern games. They make them too complicated.
See you on the
This
inside,
isn't
Avengers.
single player. This isn't single player.
Feels good to take the fight to AIM like this.
I'm playing with Captain America's live. The only two characters that aren't real right now are Black Panther and Thor. Captain America is controlled by someone else.
Okay.
And you can play with up to 4 people in this, so.
Be careful. There's a heavy AIM security presence guarding the entrance.
See if Captain America will follow me over here.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm live online. Now God of War is a single player game.
Don't lose hope, Avengers! We got this!
Ever gonna return to God of War, or is it out of the question?
No, I'll return. It's just not my cup of tea.
Keep the area free.
Like, it's a good game. But one of the reasons why I got into God of War is because his weapon was a copy of Thor's hammer ability. And I really wish they had a Thor game designed like God of War. But they gave us God of War, so I played God of War, but I would have rather have been playing Thor. But, plus, God of War is a very high-paced game. You're just always fighting.
I'm almost done. Hang in there.
And that's a little bit exhausting for me. When you play DC Universe, there's so many different things you gotta do. And not all of it revolves around fighting. So it just seems more...
Fighting to no end.
Yeah, man. To no end. That's the other problem. Like, when I play Valhalla, I really do feel like I'm just sitting there wasting my time. Because if I know even if I win, I gotta come back and do this all over again.
That's it, we're in. We should move quickly before AIM can muster a response.
AIM's got 4 Inhumans locked up like animals.
We must free them. Agreed. Avengers, I'll tell you how when you reach...
I'm happy. I beat Tyr a couple of times already, so I'm good.
I agree. I got through half of another playthrough and got bored. I feel like I've done it so much I get no joy out of it anymore.
Right, because there's nothing new about it. You're just doing the same thing with the same enemies that are doing the same moves. And
Hurry! I can't teleport inside the cells.
you can't really generate a new experience. You can all generate an alternative to the same experience. But
are we getting a new artifact in online?
Yes, we are getting a new artifact. Multiverse made a video. Check out Multiverse's video. He released that earlier today.
I will do that now.
Yep.
Access each individual
And it
cell's
had
force
something
field
to do
generators
with
using
white and
control
black
room computers,
lanterns, just
then
like we
destroy them when
discussed
they're
in the
exposed.
past.
I'll
I
teleport
told
prisoners
you,
out
I
as
was
soon
right
as
on
it's free.
point with that.
I don't even want to think about what Monica planned to do with these people.
What the heck is this guy doing?
Down you go.
Excellent. Now target the cell's generators.
Theo, work your magic.
You're safe now.
The cell's generators are now accessible.
Power down the force field. Theo, access the cell.
Doing my thing.
Great work. You exposed that cell's generators.
Force field deactivated.
Theo, you're up.
On it.
Well done. The cell's generators are vulnerable.
That's all of them. You went
Such
above and
lost
beyond today.
potential with this game, boy. Such lost potential. I mean, the character designs are perfect.
The Resistance thanks you, and I thank you.
All right,
You
folks.
saved a lot of people today. But it looks like
That was my Saturday night quickie.
We hadn't imagined.
Sega Zelenity, thanks for joining me.
Down for good.
I will check you all later tonight on DC Universe. Thanks for keeping me company on this quick run. Hope you all enjoyed it. When I'm going to see you next on DC Universe?
Will you be returning tomorrow night for DCUO?
Well, tonight. Sunday night. So, I'll see you then, okay? Sega, have a great night, man. I'll check y'all on the next stream. Peace.